so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 112. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, all you heathens, you nasty people out there making the list? That's right. This week, I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed. Bodi.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. Sreten.
I'm pissed.
I'm really fucking pissed.
I just recently got pissed.
Yes. At least you didn't get pissed on. Oh, wait, can't say that. You know.
Yeah, Fox will throw you out.
Oh, guys, I don't even know where to begin this week.
Yeah, no shit.
Do we each individually have to give a disclaimer real quick?
Yep.
Yeah, here's my disclaimer right now. If you're a snowflake, if you are easily offended, if you don't have something really swell going on upstairs, please just shut us off right now and don't share, like, and subscribe. But if you're the opposite of all that shit, then please share, like, and subscribe on all podcasting platforms.
My disclaimer is this episode will be shorter. It'll be way more serious than we usually are. We'll address some shit that's been bothering us, especially over the last 3 days. And it is very serious stuff. Also, for anybody that does try to get mad because the three of us are trying to have a conversation to an audience that can't talk back to us, chill out. There's a lot of nuance to some of the stuff we're going to discuss. It's not just a blanket. Not everything's just black and white. That being said, some of the opinions we say, we can adjust based on future facts too. That's also allowed. There's a lot of shit that's allowed. I am just as angry as other people are about a wide variety of things. And recently there's a lot of stuff been going on in the news and in the country and in the world that we have not addressed, because we're probably not going to address a lot of it today either, because it is way more complicated than three guys trying to do a shit and fart wrestling show.
That's what you think we are.
I mean, I like to make fart jokes. But yeah, my disclaimer is we're giving our take. We're going to talk for a little while. It'll probably be way shorter than usual and way more negative than usual. And next week we're getting back to the funny, because somebody's got to be the funny in this world of fucking constantly being offended, and also dealing with all kinds of real life bullshit where we're trying to make the world better, and dealing with a bunch of son of a bitch creepers. So
some bitches. That's
my disclaimer, Bodi.
You hit it on the head, man. I mean, I don't think I have to beat a dead horse here. So
yeah, you don't want to do that.
Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? See, that's the kind of shit we live in now, man. You can't say anything without fucking somebody getting their fucking dick in a wad.
Well, let's I do want to talk about the main thing that we should be discussing. The main thing that we wanted to address is the recent revelations that I am going to shut up about, because I don't know anything about this. I know Joey Ryan's been involved with some stuff, but if we could discuss that and actually address that part of what's going on. What happened?
Yeah. So,
man, what didn't happen?
Yeah. Over the weekend, last weekend, I mean, and this really, it all stems from everything. And I haven't said really shit about this. I haven't said shit about the Black Lives Matter, any of that movement on Twitter. I feel like, you know, and everybody out there thinks like, oh, well, silence is violence and all that. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm here to tell you right now, go fuck yourself, man. Not, you know, I don't have the power to change the world like I would like to, you know. Yes, Black lives do fucking matter. All lives matter. And if you get upset about that, then fuck it. I very much understand that movement. I'm very much for it. I'm sitting here, a fucking white guy who's been a victim as well of police brutality. And I'm sure, you know, I'm not discounting or discrediting anything that happened with any of that shit. I mean, you guys want to go out and fucking protest peacefully and do all that shit, great, fucking do it. I believe in the cause, because I'm the type of person that, you know, I see beyond color and all that shit. I mean, unless you're a fucking asshole, then, you know, that's when I write you off. It's my opinions are based on actions, not your fucking skin color. You know, I have family members that are of different race and all that. I don't give two fucks about that shit. So everybody out there doing their thing and doing it fucking peacefully and getting the message across. And supporting good causes and trying to help each other and educate everybody on this whole situation, hey, here's to you. I fucking love you. Keep it up. That's, it's really all I'm going to say about that shit. It's something that's been bothering me because, we, in the midst of this fucking pandemic shit, which is already crazy enough, it's already rocked everybody. Like 2020 has been this big fucking stank show. And then here comes, the media and everything, like blowing the fucking racism card. And Sreten, we kind of talked about it earlier today about what we kind of think this is. And like I said, I'm not taking away anything what happened. Those fucking assholes who did that shit, hey, you deserve to fucking fry. You deserve to go down with the ship. You made your bed, now fucking lay in it. But it's been a crazy fucking world. Like 2020, we're talking about fucking pandemics. We're talking about, racial inequality and injustice. And now, and this is something we had kind of touched upon quite a few episodes ago. The wrestling community is succumbed to the speaking out movement. Where basically, a lot of men and women, wrestling fans, wrestlers themselves have came out and spoke out. And there's a lot of big names on this list. Like Bodi's got a list we'll get here in a second, that have reported some form of abuse, harassment, or just any kind of like negative sexual behavior or any of that shit. People have been speaking out about it, and it's just fried the wrestling community, like especially on fucking Twitter. And
this happened over the last few days, like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's Wednesday now, so we're always in the future.
True. Yeah.
But it just happened over the course of last weekend, and a lot of it, I don't know if it stems from a long time that Danny Masterson, you guys heard about him, hide from that 70s show.
Yep.
Hey, fuck that guy too, man. He hid behind the fucking, what do you call that goddamn shit? The
Scientology.
that goddamn shit, Scientology, the Church of Scientology, when he was raping women. And I think one of the women was one of the guys from the Mars Volta, the band Mars Volta. His wife was a victim, and she had spoke up about it years and years ago, and nobody ever did shit because of who he was and what group he was a part of. So maybe that it stemmed from that. I don't know where. I'm not here to cross-examine where the fuck it came from. I'm just here to tell everybody my standpoint on it and the way I feel it's made it's awesome that people have been able to come forward. But here's my thing on it. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Bodi wasn't there. Sreten wasn't there. The only people that were there were the people that are telling these stories and that are brave enough to do so. Hey, I respect you all for doing that. I really do. And let's weed out the fucking assholes and, let's binge and purge essentially, and make everything better. Because when I started doing this show, it was for the love of the game, so to speak, and it was for the good times that I felt were coming ahead. And the good times from the past that, I wanted to relive with all of you. And it's become this fucking sideshow out of a fucking trauma film or something like that. Like it's so toxic. You like what I did there? But
the sideshow came alive.
It's just I can't fucking. It's hard to deal with the shit. It's hard to promote a show and to have fun and try to interact with people when this is all going on. And I understand, hey, who the fuck am I? I mean, you guys get your stories out there. Do what you got to do to make it right. But a lot, too, of what I'm seeing is it just seems like some people are getting almost bullied themselves or picked on for even voicing an opinion. Now, granted, if it's something fucking stupid, or pretty heinous or out of line, I get that. But there's some people just saying, hey, well, what are the chances that maybe this didn't happen? Or let's see what happens if the law intervenes. And you know what, man, I try to be a well-balanced person. Some of this shit, though, like with Joey Ryan, who was one of the many named in this, you read enough of these stories and it's kind of like, fuck, I don't doubt that he did some fucked up shit and that fucking sucks. But the thing that kind of gets me is the people that are like, well, I knew it happened because his fucking gimmick. You know, he's the dick guy. He got famous for letting people touch his dick and all that. Like, come on. That's the shit that's a little irritating to me. You didn't know shit. Shut the fuck up. You know, you didn't fucking know a goddamn thing.
So what that does is, how do you toe the line when there are lots of wrestlers right now that use gimmicks that have like sprinkled in sexuality, and some of them are very beloved, and you don't like, you can't say I knew it, because people loved him. He was one of the guys that they talked about, you know, especially in the indie scene in the last year or two, that everybody was talking about just how cool he was, nothing but positive things. We got to meet him. He's cool to us. He was always one of the first guys there. And I mean, this is from the rumor mills that we know, and that's really just Twitter. And the part that sucks is that you can get attacked for having an opinion. Also, I'll probably get attacked for saying this, but I remember when I first started using the Twitter not too long ago, and I don't use it well, but I only follow wrestlers and like wrestling world. I don't follow politicians, musicians. I follow Bruce Campbell because he's the greatest man ever born.
There you go.
But like, there have been other stories where it's like, and this is why I stopped following like a group like Whatcha. I'll call them out on YouTube. They're one of the bigger what did I say? Yes.
You said Whatcha.
That's a good nickname. But they report so often rumor, and they go full force on that rumor, and then just kind of like, probably just to get the clicks and the numbers, and then you just ignore it. You know, I'm not going to bring up who everybody knows, the female wrestler, tail end of last summer. Everybody was about to write her off, and she kept silent. At one point, she sort of addressed things, but she was in trouble for like 10 days. And everybody was like, fuck her, she's a racist, fuck her. And then suddenly everything was okay. Well, what about the people that tried to throw her under the bus, that tried to ruin her career? There is bounds of reason to this stuff. Now, if there's a lot of proof, if people come forward, if you're a dick, then you shouldn't be part of these things. If you're a predator, like the obvious things, but to be judge, like the cop, the judge, the executioner, everything, all within the confines. Judge, thanks, man. Judge, jury, and executioner. I am the law. But all within the confines of 120 characters. If you can be judge, jury, and executioner, and all you do is hit a heart and a retweet, come on, man. It's got to be more complicated, because otherwise, it's gonna ruin everything. And there's shades of this stuff that makes my stomach hurt. Now that also mixes in with when Bodi lists the wrestlers, it sucks and it's heartbreaking to know the reality of some of these guys that you really like. Finding out that they're pieces of shit, you know? Yeah. So there's that mixed in too, where like, is it real? Is it not real? You like them, you don't want to believe it. So there's a lot of swirling emotions, but I always like, especially with the wrestling community, because it's so rumor driven and everybody wants to have like a scoop. Like, I got the scoop. I heard the 411. I heard this and that. I know what's really happening here, whether it's like part of a storyline or whatever. It seems that if it's a bad rumor about somebody doing a bad thing, people will jump. Like over the last year and a half, I've seen so many articles where I'm like, oh man, that can't be true. And then when it's either disproven or somehow ignored, like somehow it just like blows away with the wind and people don't address it anymore. And that was especially evident with this wrestler. I don't want to name her because I don't want to bring it up. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. But like that whole story was an explosive story. It was a big deal. And
it was a momentum killer.
And then it just kind of faded. And so did she do it? Did she not do it? What did anybody apologize to her if she didn't do it? Like what the hell happened? And she's not the only person it happened to. Right. Now, again, I'm not saying that these guys that have been accused of this shit are not guilty, but I want to see the proof so I could be properly angry. And it's not a matter of like, I don't believe the victims. I'm not victim shaming. Right. Absolutely. One of the bravest things you can do is fucking speak out. But dude, the last couple of days, I had a very good weekend because I was off all the social media. And then I talked to Justin. I was on Twitter for like 10 minutes on Saturday morning.
Don't do it.
then I talked to Justin earlier. He was already like, oh, this fucking sucks. And I got off the phone and I was like, our stomachs are supposed to hurt though. This is supposed to make us feel like shit. It's supposed to make us scared for something that we like the wrestling world and the wrestling community. But then some people also have to kind of keep in mind of like, if me or Bodi or Justin do not react in the way that you react, don't be so mad at us. Like, we're not going to react the way that you guys react. And if we try to make it better in our way, also don't be mad that it's not your way. Because that's when I get mad. Like if I'm not good enough because I didn't protest the way that or react the way that you acted, I'm not you.
I think that's the perfect.
I don't live by your standards.
Right. And that's what I want to get out. I mean, in a nutshell, that's what you're saying. I like I said, man, I'm all for, every positive movement that's happening. Anything that's not violent, even though I'm a brutal death metal guy, I don't want to hear all that crazy shit. But realistically, hey, I'm all for something that's done in a peaceful manner and that can bring people together, even though we got to stay 6 feet apart. Still. It's like a 2020. It's a rubber band getting ready to break, back and forth.
And you can't even have an opinion, just going on Twitter and trying to, just following up what Sreten said. It's like some of these people will comment and be like, oh, well, I did like them just from what they saw. They can't see them doing this, not meaning that they didn't do this or they're not capable of doing this. But then that person that says, oh, they were cool to me, gets crucified for saying that. Yeah. From 300 people that they'd never met on the internet and being like, oh, so you support sexual assault and rape now. No, it's not what they're saying. What they're saying is they were huge fans of these people or this wrestler. They couldn't see them doing that because they had such a positive image of them. They had a positive representation of them.
Well, and Joey Ryan
meeting, of them.
Joey Ryan being a guy who supported intergender wrestling and women's rights and all this, and now he's kind of in the fire. And I'm not defending him because there's a lot of shit. Hey, man, I think that motherfucker did it, but
but it's weird. Sucks.
So what are some of the shit? Because I'm speaking with emotion because I'm really irritated. I'm angry.
I think we all are.
But what are some of what are some of the accusations? Do we know? That's what I want to know because I don't know.
Well, go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, go ahead, Justin, if you want to lead into that. I was just gonna say that we have a list here. But I mean, accusations run rampant from inappropriate touching to just
full-on rape.
Fuck, man. Yeah, full-on rape to underage to grooming. Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. It's insane.
I groom, but in a different way.
You look good.
Damn, I'm smooth.
You don't groom that bush, though. Shit.
I can't.
I don't forgive my ignorance. I asked Justin earlier, and I think we figured it out because neither one of us Googled it. What does grooming mean? I don't know.
It's knowing either whatever gender it is, knowing that an underage person and they are underage and you're trying to groom them to sleep with you or do anything sexual with them.
But it doesn't have. So I know it's underage. Does it have anything to do with some sort of countdown to being legal?
No, they just they're like a sexual predator.
I never heard the term.
Really?
I
they
heard
know
it for the
you're
first time.
15 or 16, but they're
Dude, Chris Hansen would have a fucking field day with this shit.
Leading you on or promising you things and then just grooming you online to sleep with you.
Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying about Joey Ryan?
No,
I haven't heard many underage stuff with Joey Ryan. Maybe one.
The one story I can confirm that I do know, because dude, once you read one of these things and you see so much of this shit, and we're living in this fucking shit storm that is 2020 already. You don't want to read anymore. You can see the list of names and be like, all right, well, that fucking sucks. But and if you're someone close to that person or within the inner circle, fucking do something about it, definitely. But what the fuck am I gonna do to fucking Joey Ryan? I've met him once. I talked to him. I don't have his fucking phone number other than just like everybody else, go shit on his social media and talk shit, which I'm not gonna do. Even you know, if he did do this shit, which he probably fucking did. But anyways, I'm rambling. The fucking story is there was a female wrestler, and there's a lot of familiar stories like, or similar, I should say, like this, and that he took advantage of. He was waiting. They were going to get some food at the hotel. He had a different room, and then so they're waiting for the food, and he's like, well, can I wait in here with you? And she's like, yeah. And then they talk, and you know, she said something about him about taking a shower, needing to take a shower. And he's like, well, can I join you? And she's like, no, like, you should probably go back to your room. And then he like kind of goes up to her and like, you know, grabs her and then almost like forcefully takes her fucking clothes off and then has her on the bed. And I mean, dude, it's pretty, it's
pretty I don't know what, I don't want to say. Yeah, kind of gruesome. It's pretty
it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
dude.
there you go.
Like,
that's the word I'm looking
hey,
for.
man,
it is pretty disgusting, like what he did, you know. Or,
I've had plenty of fucking pleasure in my life, and ain't not one motherfucking time has the juice had to force it out, you know. Come on. I mean, Joey Ryan's a good looking dude. You think he's making money? Why you got to do it, dude? What the fuck is your problem? That's just, I don't get it, you know. And but that's an example of one of the many examples of something he did. And then there's supposedly, I saw the story too with Justin Roberts from AEW, AEW ring announcer that, I mean, he was more or less into what, Bodi, like the grooming per se is what you call that. Some girl who at the time was 16 or 17, I think, in the UK, I believe it was. Which in the UK, like 16 is like age of consent. It's legal over there. Like fucking crikey. And he was, I can't remember exactly what was exchanged, but he was basically, his was a little bit more innocent than some of the other nasty shit I've heard. But basically like wanting to see her in her fucking skimpies and whatnot, which is gross considering he's a 30-something-year-old man and she's fucking 16, you know, like I got kids, you know, I got a fucking teenage daughter. Like, what the fuck is that? And you know what? And there's a lot of stories like that, right? I'm not going to go in anymore. You use your imagination because there's a lot of fucking creeps out there, and it's not just in the wrestling community. That's one other fucking point I want to stress out to you guys. Don't just be, if you're a fucking wrestling fan and this is happening in wrestling, yeah, it sucks, and you give that much a damn about it, then do something on a broader scale as well, you know, because this shit happens every day. This is happening in fucking neighborhoods that you live in, and it's not fucking wrestlers doing it. You know, there's a lot of fucking scumbags out there.
Yeah,
but
there is. And there's a lot of people not speaking out because they're afraid, you know.
Yeah. And no one should be afraid. I mean, no. I get that. I get why and the reasons people are afraid. And a lot of these women wrestlers that don't really necessarily have a name, you know, thinking that they wouldn't be believed or they'd be shunned, you know. I mean, come on.
From the wrestling association, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't the good old boys club anymore, you know. Like, it's 2020. Wrestling is fucking, the curtain's been pulled back. Everything is very accessible. There shouldn't be any of this shit going on. But that being said, Bodi, why don't you bring out the list?
I got the list right here. I don't know if you want me to
just run down some of the names real quick.
Sure. I was just going to say,
these are,
wanted to go to
ladies and gentlemen,
as well.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is an apparent list of, I guess if you're a wrestling fan and you're listening, I hope you're sitting down.
All right. So you have Jim Cornette and his wife.
Yeah. Oh, that was a cucking story or something.
Yeah.
Real quick. So Sreten, with that, supposedly the story with Jim Cornette is that he was forcing people to sleep with his wife. I even saw some bullshit. And I don't know if this is what gets on my nerves. Is, you know, who knows if it's fucking rumor and whatnot. But like Big Show supposedly did it. Like,
yeah,
what?
I saw that too. Like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, supposedly people were being forced while he watched. Which is
everyone knows I'm no fan of Jim Cornette. I think he's a turd. But it's weird. I still respect his wrestling knowledge and history, but I think he's a turd. But that kind of story that's one of those that I'm like, it's his private life. Mm-hmm. Also, if it's not true, any son of a bitch, I don't mean to say son of a bitch, but anybody
Son
that
of a bitch.
reported about it should be like, we retract this. We'll try to do better, because you plant those sorts of seeds. And so when you tell a story and then it goes away magically, then from now on you think Jim Cornette is this guy that likes to watch his wife get banged by wrestlers or whatever other dumb rumor. Like, if it's not true, these media outlets should be like, we fucked up. They'll never do that. If you want to be responsible, call wrestlers out, call out inappropriate behavior. Everybody should pay for, if you do something wrong, yeah, you should lose the privilege of wrestling, or you should lose your job, or whatever the case may be. And it's a case by case thing. Justin and I talked about that offline. Like, it is case to case. There's got to be, there also has to be, for some people, there's got to be proof too,
It's very
Can't just say
circumstantial.
this. Yes.
I mean, a lot of these people are celebrities of some sort. And I'm not belittling. Once again, this is the whole point of our conversation. So you motherfuckers that want to jump on it, but it's it's shit that's got to be done. It's you got to let fucking people talk, and you got to fucking know the truth and everything. And right now, I mean, it's a phase. And like Sreten said, we talked earlier, everything's very circumstantial pertaining to each individual case. Not that I really even give a fuck about all of them. And I don't mean that in a negative way, as far as what I'm trying to say is some of these wrestlers I just wasn't a fan of, or maybe I don't know, not that I don't care about like whether or not they victimize somebody, because I very much fucking do. I mean, it's people shouldn't have to endure that type of shit. It's fucking wrong. One of the guys that was involved in this, and real quick before Bodi goes down the list, and I will let you fucking fly free, Dave Lagana from the NWA, a guy that we had some inside sources, another guy that we told you about a while ago. And if you motherfuckers weren't listening, then shame on you. This is a guy who's had many cases against him. And hey, he did some cool shit with the NWA. As far as I know, he was a part of their creative and a part of some of that Carneyland and just the way that they filmed things. And it was pretty cool, but it doesn't dispute the fact that he's a fucking major creep. Major fucking creep.
Major creep.
He resigned from the NWA. Yeah. He's gone now. And now all their, and that's the other thing about all this shit, is you got to consider the repercussions. NWA isn't filming or doing anything else now until they hire somebody else. Sreten, you brought up earlier that Mecha Wolf is so fucking disgusted by all this shit that he's like, hey, I'm done with the wrestling business. Like, after this year, who do you want to see me fucking wrestle? Because I'm ready to get the fuck out and just keep doing my music. So guys like that, and guys like fucking old Rory Gulak, who was trying to insert himself and pretty much in a way force himself on my old lady when she was fucking pregnant. Go back and listen to that shit. I tried kind of bringing it out then, and I didn't. It was a little uncomfortable for me. Mainly one, because I was pissed that, dude, I wanted to fucking choke that guy. I wanted to whoop his ass. Like, come on, dude. And now you hear all these cases of more severe cases, I might add, of what's going on, and from guys like, there's a cue, Bodi.
Well, guys like, Jim Cornette, like I said, and his wife, which I do have to say that his response to this, I mean, it's not funny like with others, but his response is like, I've been charged with having an interesting sex life. I'm like, that's your response? That's your response? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. Matt Riddle. Yeah. Matt Riddle's on the list. Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, fuck.
Velveteen Dream is on there. Rich Catlato, which he runs that LGBTQ federation. I forgot what it was called. But he runs that. You got David Starr. David Starr's on the list.
Oh man, yeah, he's a big piece of shit on that list.
Yeah, and he was a rising, no pun intended, but rising star. He was
not no mo.
No, not no mo. Dave Christ. Dave Christ is on here, man.
And I heard he severed ties with Impact, and I actually heard that Impact was pretty much wrapping up with him before any of this came to light.
Exactly. He was
another guy, that dude I've met, talked to, I fucking smoked down with. Like,
yeah,
I didn't see it, but hey, man, sometimes, you know, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world it didn't exist.
Exactly. Co-owner of Fight Club, Martin Zaki, he's on here. Sammy Guevara making the comment on the podcast, which he did come out, apologize, and then Sasha Banks came out with a
they talked,
and they talked.
hashed it out.
And she said they had a good open conversation, and she said
And
hopefully they learned. And personally, I think AEW did the right move.
I do too.
That's just my personal feeling.
And here's the thing.
Can you tell that story? Because I'm not aware of any of this shit.
Yeah, for sure. He was on a podcast, I believe, 2016. And he was at the Performance Center when he was younger. And with him being, 21-ish, around there, he saw Sasha Banks in person, you know, other people there, but he said he saw Sasha Banks in person and was like, she's unbelievably gorgeous in person. He just wanted to go up to her and just rape her on the spot.
Jesus.
That's you don't joke like that, you know, but he has some maturing to do. You know, he's a young kid. It's no excuse. I'm not fighting for him. I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just saying, like, he used the worst choice of words in that spot. You know, he shouldn't have said that at all. You don't joke about stuff like that. So that's the story behind that. That's his story. But like I said, today she came out with a statement saying that they had a great talk, and then AEW suspended him without pay. But his pay is going towards helping women, women's rights, women's shelters and stuff. And like
he's supposed to be doing some kind of like tolerance or sensitivity training or camp and here's the other thing. I mean, they said, he's suspended indefinitely. Yeah. You know, that, and while they determine his future with AEW, and you get the rats and the Mizarks, as Johnny Swinger would say. This is what pisses me off about it is, all right, that was some fucked up shit. You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have fucking joked around like that. You can, who cares how young or old you are? You know, you said something stupid on a fucking podcast like that, something that's going to get out around the world. And then 4 years later, it's going to fucking smack you right in the goddamn face.
Right.
But he was reprimanded. Shit was taken care of, you know, within 10 to 11 hours of the fucking story breaking. And people are pissed because they didn't just jump.
When they didn't fire him like they did with Jack Gallagher. Yeah, and
that's when Matt Riddle, you know, he was accused, but then, like I said, Sreten said everything is circumstantial. You know, they already had an investigation into the lady that was providing allegations saying that Matt Riddle was doing this shit, and supposedly this girl's been troubling him and his wife for a couple of years now. You know, and I don't know if he's actually been fully cleared or not, but I know that they've been in some kind of legal tit-tat with this girl who's saying that that he did some fucked up shit to her or whatever. So like I said, some of these may or may not be true, and that's fine. As long, you know, hey, the ones that are, I hope they fucking get hammered out, and I hope that, you know, I thank the people that were brave enough to fucking tell their story that felt like they couldn't until this exact fucking one moment in time where it all just fucking flooded all over everybody who was already fucking, you know, down in the dumps from all this shit that is 2020. But it like I said, it really soured me that, like, man, are you really gonna jump on, like, the AEW did do something? Are you really gonna jump that they didn't do it fucking as soon as you wanted? Who the fuck are you? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just ridiculous, because even people were like, why didn't you do something? And it's like 10 minutes after this accusation come out, and what do you want them to do? Like, they gotta follow protocol too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and let me put it this way, because if this was an accusation made, and I've had friends, well, a friend, back probably 12 to 14 years ago, had an allegation made against him, and the cops pretty much said, fuck it, because this girl didn't, I mean, if it was true, she would have actually pursued it more. I mean, she did enough to just go to the cops and drop a name.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And it was a cry wolf situation. And like I said, I'm not saying that's the case with all of these. I'm not. So before everybody jumps the gun, and it's kind of bullshit that I have to keep backing myself up saying that. But that's the day and age we fucking live in.
Exactly.
And you know, and he was pretty. They were like, the cops straight told him he was cleared, and like, hey, if something like this really happened, I'm pretty sure she would have came back and tried to pursue, some kind of legal action against you, and she just stopped. All she did was drop a name. So everybody out there that's quick to jump the gun, my whole point is, what if that was you? What if all of a sudden you just had this horrible thing fucking against you that someone said that you did, and your world just comes crashing down when there's allegations as serious as some of these are. People lose not only their jobs and everything, they lose their life, man. They're blackballed. Yeah, like exactly. Joey Ryan, he's going to be blackballed, and he's fucking done. Hey, man, and I'm not sitting here feeling sorry for him. I'm just saying that's the reality of it. That's why we need to understand more before we fucking judge and all that shit,
Exactly.
I'm a Libra,
not
man.
just his, not just his career, man. It's his life too,
We discuss these things, and whatever level of fan we are for each one of these people, like, you guys know them. I don't know the majority of these guys. It does come from a position of like any other celebrity that you've heard of in the last like 20 years. When you hear some bad shit, the discussion also comes from a place of pain. You're hurt. Yeah. This person that you kind of look up to, that you were a fan of, that gave you entertainment in your life, is suddenly like a bad dude. It also makes you second guess your own judgment. There's a bunch of shit, but as a logical person, you shouldn't just leap and jump to conclusions and light somebody on fire, so to speak, because there's been an accusation. Like, you do have to take the time and figure it out. Not us as fans, we can have an opinion, but that's it, and then the powers that be, the leaders of companies, the police, like, those people need to take it. And then, like, for example, somebody like Sammy Guevara, there's just like there's different levels of crime. He said something like that. It's not a crime. What he said is an incredibly stupid thing to say, but the kid shouldn't lose his, like, he has already started the process of making amends. He knew it was dumb to say. He knows,
circumstantial. He didn't go out and rape or force himself that we know of, or that has been alleged yet, like a Joey Ryan, So it's very much circumstantial.
But with any of these examples, and again, like, we keep talking about it, like, if somebody listens to this show and wants to attack us because we have opinions, these are like our opinions, man. Like, this is what we think. We're not assholes. If you meet any one of us, we'll be, like, we've always been exceptionally respectful and positive to absolutely everybody we've met, and it's exciting for us because that's what we like too. So it's weird. True. We can't even discuss this stuff because the whole time you discuss, you have to defend yourself, because there is a culture of there are podcasts and YouTube shows and different media sources right now that, let's say we do, like right now, example is like, a senator or something. Well, let's say I give a speech. There are people out there will take my speech and not take it as a whole speech, or not take it as 15-minute segments. Or if I tell you it's like, hey, this is a 5-part speech, and you say, well, part 1 is this, part 2, or episodic, they will take it and pick apart like every other word. So there's certain words that are disconnected and out of context, and it just gets way more complicated, and they will pick apart some like minute by minute shit. Whenever I hear a podcast or a political show like pick apart a speech from like sentence to sentence, I'm like, whether I agree with that person's opinions or not, that is not the way you analyze like fact.
Right.
This is this is different too, but I don't know. Are you almost done with the list? This is
almost.
Sucks.
Yeah, I just
right, rapid fire.
Plow through it. Here we go. We're gonna plow through it here. ROH Rob Feinstein. He's in here. Yeah. Rob Feinstein, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's another one I saw. I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. Indie promoter Chino Bafa Reyes is on here. Dan Maff.
Yeah. Fuck.
Another indie promoter, Mark Haggerty. MLW announcer Kirk White is on here. Aaron Epic, which I think he runs a wrestling school. Russell Payne, Chase and Rain, Jimmy Havoc, who we've heard about his issues that he has and stuff like that.
He's released too. He's gone.
Is
for
he?
the
Did he
time
get
being.
released? I
Well-
thought they just sent him to rehab and stuff like that, and
Yeah, they sent him
just
to
kind of
rehab.
suspended him.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
That's what I read out of it, was that he was just temporarily suspended when he works through his issues. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, even his story is crazy. Trent Seven, you know,
Yeah.
NXT UK stars.
Jordan Devlin, I think, is on
Yep,
that list.
Jordan Devlin's on here. Wolfgang, Mark Paz Perry, Dave Lagana, who we just talked about not too long ago. Gentleman Jack Gallagher, he got ousted. He's gone. Joe Coffey, NXT UK.
Damn.
Brian Wilcott, he's on here. Congo Kong.
What?
Congo
From South
Kong is on
Bend,
here.
Congo Kong?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, Justin Roberts is on here, and we just talked about him not too long ago. Scotty Davis, another UK star. He's on here. Bull James.
Yep.
Bull James is a name that's floating around. Travis Banks. Ligero. Ligero is a huge name too. And then Joey Ryan, of course. And then Austin Aries is the newest one too. That came out today.
I didn't hear about
what his accusation was, is that after a show, him and a couple people needed a place to hang out. It was like play, but hang out and just a place to crash. You know, they didn't have anywhere to go. So this girl took them in, and the deal was guys sleep out in the living room, couch, and floor. Girls sleep in the bed. And then sometime in the middle of the night, Austin Aries made his way in the bed in between the two girls and was trying to feel them up underneath the covers and stuff. So that's the allegation that's going on. I haven't seen anything else other than that. That's what I read today. So, but there's more names supposedly out there too that are floating around. But
they're gonna keep coming, dude. It's fucking raining blood at this point.
Where'd this list come from?
A lot of it came from Twitter. A lot of it was from just the accusations that are out there, people that dropped the names. So
is there like
and this
a
is something that
hashtag
started. Yeah,
this
it's the speaking out
or hashtag speaking out. I think wrestling or Ringside News, or there's a lot of news outlets let me rephrase that. Wrestling news outlets that have a list of names called out in this movement. Yeah. But all the names came from that speaking out movement. So if you just search on Twitter hashtag speaking out to see some of the names, not only that, just to see some of the stories. The stories are just
that's because the names
horrifying.
Are one thing. It's the stories you need to that you need to understand.
Exactly. You just can't hear a name and just jump to conclusions and be like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
But then you see 5 accusations and it's like, wow, that's not cool. Like trying to groom 16-year-olds and stuff, and knowing that you're 16 and then still hitting on them and sending unsolicited pics to them. And it's not cool. Like, you don't do that.
And if anybody out there, watching this on YouTube right now or listening, I mean, you guys feel free to leave in the comments some of the stories that you've heard about these, because I'm not going to pretend like I want to fucking go through the heartache of looking them up, but for the sake of other people that listen to the show that may be interested or wanting to know, just so they can kind of prepare their actions for whatever, feel free to leave them in the fucking comments too. And if, hey, like Sreten said, we're not fucking bad guys. Our names ain't making that fucking bullshit motherfucking list. But you guys need someone to reach out to and talk about anything. I don't give a fuck if it's, you're feeling down, you're feeling fucking depressed about whatever it is in life. Trust me, I've been through damn near most of it all. I don't really air much of my personal shit on here other than, hey, I fucking play in a band or I do this, but it's been a tough year for me too. I, having a kid during a fucking pandemic, right now trying to look for a house, to buy to, improve our family's quality of life, and still trying to do this show and keep it, as positive as we can and as fun as we can with all this fucking shit that's going on. It's fucking tough, and we're all just fucking normal dudes like most of you out there. So if anybody, I don't care who you are, boy or girl, fucking, it doesn't fucking matter. You can hit us up on social media, blow up our fucking DMs if you feel like you need to talk. Ain't nobody gonna try to weasel their fucking way into your bed or any of that bullshit, Hey, I've been there. I've been there.
I just reading here that Being the Elite got pulled this week. No return date announced. I didn't know about that.
Kenny Omega I saw him tweet saying that they weren't going to air it. Hopefully they can air it soon. I don't know why that is.
Right.
Maybe because it was featuring, some of the
Could have
aforementioned
featured
names.
Yeah, exactly. Could have featured some of them, and they just don't want to do that. But I was going to say, commenting on you with the conversations, like have meaningful conversations too, like not cutthroat, like name calling stuff like that. Like, if you want to comment, anybody out there, and like talk about stuff like this, like we're always open to conversations and stuff, but I always see conversations like that getting way out of hand, like Twitter, Facebook, and
It gets out
that's
of
why
hand immediately. That's what sucks.
yeah,
built.
and that's why
It
I
won't-
stay off of social media half the time, because
Yeah.
Facebook and Twitter and all that is so fucking depressing to me, man. I go on Facebook and it's just like nothing but bickering back and forth, political and all this other
Oh, yeah.
bullshit, and I'm just like, God damn it, man! It's just depressing to me, dude. And I already struggle with hating everybody and hating no, I'm just kidding.
I
No,
don't.
but no, seriously,
I'll admit that, man. Most
like-
people are garbage, unfortunately,
Dude,
except the people that
it is-
support us and listen.
Right. It is that way, though. It is that way, man. But yeah,
I'd like to, if you guys are done with this topic, I'd like to say something as like a sort of a transition to one thing that does pertain to the regular
oh yeah,
style topics of our shows, a la
I'm over this topic, man. It's
Wallace's
just,
shirt. But what I do want to say
You can
is,
find all that on Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I do want to say is these most of the social media, like especially like Twitter and Facebook, different demographics, different people do different things. The algorithms are built towards separation of people. When you watch the news,
exactly.
Towards
your
hatred and separatism.
towards
it's built towards
us,
that.
like towards fragmenting us, making sure we're all angry at each other.
That's why we get
way
pushed
more-
to the back of the algorithm, because they know, hey, we don't want these
Way
positive
more-
motherfuckers talking
Yeah,
I
no
mean-
shit, man.
like calling out what culture again, like a lot of their clicks is because they talk some shit, then it's just rumor and they don't back it up, and then they get a lot of people watching. But
I do
what I
have to
invite
say
people
real
to do-
quick.
go ahead,
Oh,
man.
sorry. I was just going to say real quick, because I want to move on from that subject, and then I'll let
Yeah.
you talk real quick. But I just
Yeah,
wanted to say that I congratulate all the people coming out and support everyone coming out with this movement and telling their stories, because I know it's not easy, and I know it takes a lot of courage to do this. So I applaud everyone coming out on this movement and telling their stories and trying to make change happen.
Justin, do you want to say anything before I say my cheesy thing?
Same thing. Like I said, I'll fucking say it again. You may not know who the fuck we are other than listening to the show. And if this is your first time, hey, thanks for joining us. But we are some cool motherfuckers, and we are people that have ears that can understand. If you're going, I got to reiterate, because I see some people that I follow on Twitter like today that are getting so depressed about this that, they're like throwing out suicidal phrases and shit. Like it's
Sucks.
silly, life is worth much more than that, than just, I fucking love wrestling more than anybody, I would like to believe, but it comes down to that. I don't give a fuck,
Right.
I just want to live.
Yep.
It's meant to be a source of entertainment, not,
Exactly.
It is.
not,
And
not
an
hating
escape.
everybody around you and going into a
It's
depressive
meant
spiral.
to be an escape, not a fucking
Yes.
trap.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said
That's a good
earlier,
analogy.
when we started, binge and purge. Hey, Bodi, we're involved in the fucking underground metal community where, people, there's genres like porno grind and fucking gore grind and all this other shit.
Brutal death metal.
That some of the content that these bands sing about is like shock and awe shit,
Mhm.
where you hear about some of the content. I don't really need to go into it, but not once really have I ever ran into anybody that was not welcoming per se, and just had your back, and it was like a family fucking thing. And I've never heard any kind of controversy like there is going on with this wrestling shit.
And we protect
it
our own
sucks.
in that too. In that genre, we protect our own.
Yeah, so it's hey man, I'm just putting it out there. I'm fucking, if anybody wants to talk, man, I've lived a fucking life. I'll sit and fucking listen as long as I can until my fucking baby starts crying. Then you can get fucked. But no, seriously though, like I really want people to like reach out if they feel like they have no one else to go to. I'll fucking listen. That's all I gotta say. Other than that, you sick fucks who made that list, you're proven fucking innocent. All right. Until then, here's to you.
Right. Sreten.
All I wanted to say was this. Nobody's going to listen to me, but I just wanted to put out there to anybody of our audience members, you guys, you already do. I've been trying to convince Justin for a while. Take a little break from the social media, 2, 3, 4 days a week. Get away from it.
Delete the app.
Just listen to our show.
Yeah, listen to our show. Find things that you like and obsess about those things. Don't get so caught up. Take a step back. Especially in with all this, just social media. Any other stresses you have in life, like deal with those however you want to deal with them. There's a lot of social injustice in the world, and it's come to the front where people actually, we might actually get some change in the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. That's another topic that I will definitely not discuss on the show, because it's super complicated. But get off the fucking social media. Stop being so angry on Twitter. Just log off for a little while. Stop finding enemies left and right and all around you. Nobody gives a, most of the time, unless you're out there trying to make change in the world. It's just like the most, it's like masturbating with like lighter fluid and matches and shit. Like,
and cheese graters.
You're just hurting yourself. You like, you get these little like dopamine hits, but you're not actually doing shit. You're not changing the world by hitting the retweet button and the like button, or if you're fighting other nameless people on Facebook, and you're just
do something like I said
angry.
earlier. Get off your fucking ass. Go do something.
Dude,
in your
I've been
community.
watching old wrestling. I've been going for, like, I walk every day for a few miles. I've been bike riding. There's some people that we're friends with that like roller skate now. You know, there's so much go shoot around outside.
There's a lot more out there than
buy a coloring book.
App. Yeah,
just get off the just get off the internet. Just get off the social media.
Exactly.
Get away from. Just take a step back. You don't have to do it forever. It's changing most of our minds for the worst, and it's built that way. It's built to be addictive.
Go watch They Live, and you'll understand.
Oh yeah.
But there's, I mean, shit, I just watched a really good movie the other night. I'm not going to name drop it, but that's all I want to say. I would like to invite everybody, if you're going to do some sort of boycott or something else for your own mental health, get off the social media. And somebody who's new to the world of wrestling, I have noticed within the wrestling community, there is a prevalence, and it feels like it's a higher prevalence than other communities, or like
toxicity,
real life. Not toxicity, but there's a lot of mental health stuff. There's a lot of people that are bipolar. There's a lot of people that have had a lot of head injuries. There's a lot of people that I've noticed that there's a lot of prevalence of people that have mental health issues. And like, I'm on your side. I want you to, be healthy, but get off the damn Twitter, get off the damn Facebook.
It's not very much not conducive to a positive way of thinking, positive mental attitude or change, or
and no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try. I mean, that's why we have some like we have the Mark bot, and we have other things that we haven't even like messed with yet. We have our impressions, but like it's supposed to be fun. Twitter has such a good potential, and there's so many like, follow the Onion if you want to have a laugh. Follow these other people.
Oh my God, yes.
That's
hardtimes.net. Hardtimes.net. If you're a music fan, hardtimes.net is absolutely hilarious.
Remember, real quick, there was I always remember this Hard Times one. Excuse me, it sticks with me. It's like, what was it? Family pissed because someone put flowers at Gigi's grave.
Yeah, dude, I remember
seeing on it or desecrating it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, dude. I was losing that, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. One of the best ones.
That's all I want to say. Like, be grateful for everybody. Just practice. And I hate telling this to everybody, but there's so many people that are caught up in the whirlwind of constant stress. And if you watch the news every day, if you stay on social media, you are in a constant state of anxiety.
People like that.
Like a buzzing, low-level anxiety. It's not the way we should be. Find some things, meditate, find some things in your life that you're grateful for, and fucking say them out loud. I am grateful that we get to record this podcast every week. I am grateful for the friendship that I've developed with you two and the people that I've met. I'm grateful for...
Wait a minute. Wait.
Well, maybe not every day.
You know you two?
What?
Bono?
You know Bono?
You know Edge?
Yeah, those are my boys.
Those are the only two guys. Those are the only two guys and you two anyway. And
I quit. I quit the show.
I absolutely can't stand you two. Hey, Justin, nice shirt.
Derailed.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
so that's it. I just wanted to say that, like, practice.
Nice shirt.
There's so much good shit out there still. And then
Such
here's a
good
transition.
shit.
Nice shirt. That's a transition. Nice shirt.
Such
It's
good
a
shit.
shirt. That's a match that should happen, you know.
Is there a reason you wore that shirt
Damn,
tonight?
Undertaker.
There is a reason. There is a fucking reason. So
I love that
I knew
shirt,
this
yeah.
was coming. The end. Yeah, I got this at fucking Meijer, dude. Would you believe? I think under $10 too.
Rest
Undertaker.
Peace.
Yes. Oh wait. That's a song. Anyways, Undertaker, the last ride, the final chapter, Revelation. I knew it was coming. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. He is officially. He announced it at the end. He's officially done. That, you know, he's like, this time the cowboy really did rides off for real.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. He's still got a fucking 14 or 15-year contract with Vince, you know, and I'm sure a lot of that. Man. Yeah, a lot of that is probably like marketing shit and whatever.
Appearances.
Well, yeah, and who knows? He might come back and do another one-off thing. I posted on Twitter at JPDUB Podcast. After you take your break, come back to us. We welcome you back. But I did post somewhere. I really think, I believe that the Sting Taker match could still happen, albeit in a cinematic fucking.
It should happen like that, yeah.
Cinematic. It should, and let it happen and let it be over with. I don't know. It's a weird thing, you know. Taker fucking wrestling 30 fucking years. In the we're just talking about like WWF. I think it was almost. Well, he debuted what, like 92? 92. So he didn't quite make 30 years with the Fed, but damn, that's a long time, dude. And he's like, a character-wise, he's a fucking cornerstone of that company. I mean, there's really hasn't been no greater character to come along ever. No. I mean, with the mystique and just everything, and different generations, different decades, the drawing power that this guy had, and
the reinvention of his character.
Yeah,
how over he got with some of the characters. Whether you liked it or not, like I wasn't a huge fan of the American Badass gimmick, but dude, he got over with that gimmick with the crowd and everything. And you know, he had some great matches as the American Badass, dude. And I'm not gonna knock him for it. I personally love the darker Undertaker because I just love
like the
that.
Darker.
You know?
I like the end with the Boneyard match. How he was,
that was
saying it was a combination of Mark Calloway, Undertaker, and American Badass.
It was, and that was a perfect right off into the sunset. And what better talent to go up against than AJ Styles? I mean, AJ Styles is so grateful to have that last match with him.
Oh yeah,
I love that match.
Great, man.
Yeah,
it's you know, a guy had one hell of a career. So if I had a beer right now, I would chug it for you, Taker. If I had a shot of Jack Daniels, I'll cheers.
We'll have to do that the next podcast. Shot of Jack Daniels for the working man.
We'll do it, man. Hey, and for everybody out there listening and watching, share with us in the comments some of your favorite Undertaker moments from throughout the years. You know, I've had a lot. Fortunately, man, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Don't mind.
Wrestle probably when I got to see him. I've seen him in person a few times. You know, going against Ultimate Warrior and body bag matches was always cool. But my favorite, for me, it has to be in person from when I was there. It was at Mania 8 against Jake Roberts. Right before Jake went to WCW. That was, and he was still the old school phenom, you know, like I love that just old dirty Western Undertaker, like that look he had when he first came out, you know. Something just really struck a chord with me like that. I mean, genuine like horror movie looking motherfucker, you know. But I have to say it's probably one of my favorite moments.
That's awesome. I think my favorite moment was I think it was that Survivor Series, was it? Or was it the Rumble? He faced Yokozuna, and I believe it was after the match, a bunch of heels came out and were putting the beat down on him. They put him in the casket. And then as the casket was going, like all of a sudden the lights went out and lightning was firing everywhere.
The screen.
Yeah, and then he ascended to the heavens, you know, and then like he had the negative image on the screen. Dude, when I was younger, I got like chills watching that. And I popped so hard, and I was just like, oh my God, like that just, not only was it like freaky to me at the time, but at the same time, it was that suspension of disbelief that he was able to do this, and that generally left me like, how the hell did they do that? Like, it was the craziest shit, and his shadow going above the screen and stuff. Like, I thought that was the greatest damn moment ever with the Undertaker, personally with me. And if you've never seen him live, you know, there's no feeling. There you go. It kind of blended in. There's no greater feeling than seeing Taker come out, hearing the music, seeing the smoke, feeling that chill, you know, the collective awe. There you go. Which was what it was. You know, there was a collective awe in the crowd when Undertaker comes out. And the first time I saw him live come out, I just froze, and I was like, this is the greatest goddamn entrance ever. You know, it's just, there's that mystique with him. It's like,
yeah, he was a fucking dead guy. He was essentially a fucking zombie or something.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Dude,
impervious to pain.
Yeah,
impervious to pain, McMahon.
He knew how to, like you said too, he knew how to get the fucking character over, and big fan of the business, and he's all about the business, you know, and wanting to improve, and he finally, thank God, after years, I was like saying, man, Taker's just got to stop. You know, he keeps saying he don't want to be a shell of himself, but he's really kind of leaning towards that.
You
so
don't want to be a parody of yourself either.
You know,
I think he said that.
Yeah, thankfully he's done. You know, I mean, it sucks. But hey, let's face it, you know, we can always live out some Undertaker classic moments on the network, on YouTube, or, you know, I'm sure there's going to be tons of cool fucking merch coming out, and not to mention, you know, DVDs and shit. But it was really cool. It was really cool they did this documentary, and in the way they did it to kind of announce his fucking retirement.
Exactly.
I thought that was fucking cool. Awesome.
That was great.
Too bad he likes fucking Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit. Something else real quick. GCW just did, what was it?
GCW. Sorry.
They just did a show in
that shit in Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. So our neck of the woods, me and Sreten's, was it the World on GCW or something like that? What was it called?
I think that's what it was called.
It was part 2. So I just want to send a shout out to them real quick, because it looked like, I haven't been able to watch it yet. I haven't had the time, but it looked like they did everything right from what I was seeing in the pictures. It was outside, you know, they did the social distancing thing. They had the sanitation stations going on.
Yeah.
Some of the clips I did see from guys from Wrestling with Unicorns, fucking awesome action. And
some of those clips are really cool. And I saw the if you're on Deathmatch Elite or anything like any of those deathmatch sites on Facebook, they showed a couple of guys' vans opened up, and there's just light tubes and stuff in the back of these vans, just tons of them. And you know, but sorry, Sreten, man, I love that stuff. You know, I love deathmatch wrestling and stuff, and GCW is awesome.
I think it was cool, and afterwards too. I mean, you know, they made a considerable donation to some of the charitable causes down there, like in you know, like some of the Black Lives Matter stuff that's going on in Indianapolis. So it's cool that they kind of gave back to the community and did that shit, you know, for a promotion that is, you know, touted as a deathmatch hardcore promotion. It's really cool. So GCW, good on you guys.
GCDUB. Great job.
And good on all of you motherfuckers out there listening every week and keeping up with the juice.
Yeah, good on. I got to give a quick shout out to this, because you know, you guys, I'm in love. Abaddon. Good on Abaddon coming out whooping that ass. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. If you're everybody out there, if you haven't seen Abaddon, or if you've been living under a rock the past week, anyways, Abaddon, AEW's Wrestler of the Week. Go look her up on Instagram, YouTube,
was it Ricky Starks?
Twitter. No, it wasn't.
I told you.
Look her up, man. She's awesome. You did. You called it, dude. Like, yeah, you did call it. But yeah, go look up Abaddon. She is. I got to compare it to like kind of like the Undertaker when he first came out. How she is just like, wow,
she's fucking freaky.
Come to life. She is.
Yeah.
She scares my wife.
She scares me
she's
too.
Scary looking. Yeah, dude. But that red eye and like the makeup and everything, I'm like, you hit something right there. Run with it. You know. Yeah. And I think
we'll see what happens.
Hands. Right.
I'm about to run away from you motherfuckers, because I got a deep dish calling my name. Hey, everybody, remember what we said in this episode, because we ain't going to be doing this shit again. I don't want to. I was very fucking upset going into this. I'm glad I got to talk with you guys and kind of, you know, just get our message out there. This is going to be the only way you're going to hear it. I'm not going to fucking post any tweets or any of that bullshit about it. But please follow us on all social media. we're not the guys out there promoting the negative shit. If you do decide to take Sreten's advice and take a little break from social media to kind of find your way again, which I do recommend, then fucking come back to us. We'll always be here. Like I said, our door's always open. Our DMs are always open. If you want to hit us up and you want to talk, hey, I've been known to fucking talk for hours to people that, you know, have got some shit going on. Like I said, I've been through it before. I want to help you out. I love you guys. Everybody that's out there maintaining positivity in this fucking sick, sad world. I love you guys so much. So please continue to support us, and we'll be right there for you. Until next time, for Bruiser Bodi and for Sreten the motherfucking Savage. Yeah, this is the Juice telling you he's got a wet em up, wet em up, wet em up, wet em up. Wow! Oh, yeah, you said you didn't want to, but I think you really did. You gotta word them all.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah!
So fucking what? For positivity, sweet, better positively stay fucking positive, yeah! Fuck 'em.
You gonna do sex to me?